Well, about a month ago, thankfully, Demetrios reminded me to check my notes here. We chatted with Demetrios Drellos. He was just getting ready to go down to Florida, run some great late model stuff down at Volusia. Turns out he did pretty well, and he just got a phone call the other day telling him that he did even better. Second place in 2 races. That's the picture you're looking at, by the way, is him down on the track. But he got a call a couple of days ago saying that he had won. So turns out Demetrios Drellos is already a great late model winner. So let's head down to South Daytona. Demetrios is at his parents' house right now. He'll be racing again next week on Wednesday is when the big block modifieds hit the track, Wednesday through Saturday. But hey, Demetrios, you're a late model feature winner. Congratulations.
I know, thank you. I appreciate it. It's pretty surreal, pretty fun. I didn't really. The news is when I got the news Monday, it was pretty important, and I didn't really know what to say or even what to think. But I now even every day that goes by, I'm still really excited about it. Not too many people can say that from the Northeast, and we came down here and raced with the best. A lot of super late model drivers stepped down and ran the crate stuff that week. Yep, like Kyle Bronson and Freddie Carpenter and Mark Whitener, Ross Bales. There's quite a few of them that stepped down and raced that race, and we won. So that was pretty fun, pretty cool. Proved that the Northeast guys can do something that's a little out of our element. So that was a lot of fun.
Well, I've always said the big block modified's got to be one of the harder things to drive. I would think learning something else, I'm not going to say it's going to be easier, but the transition might happen faster than somebody else. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the big block stuff is definitely difficult to drive. I think what you have to pay attention to in the late models is a lot different than what you have to pay attention to in the big block.
Like what?
I just think the way you have to your wheel input where you're like, I want to get real technical, but like where you turn the wheel to when you get on and off the gas, to how much you get on and off the gas, where your line changes a little bit different. I mean, besides the fact that you feel a little out of your element, it took me quite a bit. I had to stop paying so much attention to where I was sitting in the car because I couldn't get off the subject of sitting on the left. I couldn't. It was too hard for me to reprogram my brain. I just had to kind of get in there and do it after a while and say that's what it is, And once I stopped paying attention to it, I felt a lot more comfortable.
Well, you're also a little lower too, aren't you?
You're very low to the ground. It feels like you're riding a kite on the big block. Like you feel like you're flying in the air.
Okay.
Compared to the late model, like you feel like your butt's dragging on the ground. It's totally different. But I'll tell you this, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I'd love to go with my peers that I race with up in the Northeast and run a late model race with them. We'd probably have a lot more fun. I have a blast doing it. So, but it's fun. That's all I can really say about it.
Yeah, and more fun when you do well too. So, because you were already, I would imagine, after a second place, you were probably already feeling pretty good, weren't you?
Yeah, we got in the lead. We led a lot of laps in that race. We got beat, which is, but when you get that news we were already ecstatic about that. When you get that news, it's even better. I mean, that's awesome. When you get to tell the whole team, like, hey, we actually did get the win. Like, this is a lot of fun. The only thing we didn't get to have fun was with raising the checkup and getting the victory lane photos with everyone. But you know what? This is still awesome. You take them any way you can get, and I don't think anyone else would say, it's not as good, but it still feels pretty good to me.
From what I understand, it was a tire issue, and that's what we're going to get into there. But still, so you get an extra check now to make up the difference, don't you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We should be getting the difference made up from second to first place, and I'm sure that'll get taken care of. I've never won a race like this, but it'll get resolved. Dirt's super professional, and they'll take care of that.
Hopefully you get the trophy, too, because let's be honest, right? We want to have something to put on the mantle, our first late model win.
Yeah, exactly. I actually was, yesterday, when I was walking into Volusia to help my buddy, crew for his car, I saw Brian Carter there, and I said, hey, Brian, a couple weeks ago, a guy got DQ'd. I finished second, and he won. And now I'm the winner, and, I really, really would appreciate the trophy, the first place trophy.
Yeah.
Because how often do you get to say you have your first late model win or trophy or whatever to get from that? That'd be really cool to have in the race shop, it's something important, one of the more important ones.
Was this the first or second night that you were in the car?
This was the second night total in the car, first
second
night
night
of the
total.
event.
How did the first night go?
The first night was back in December. I came down just for a few laps. real small race, and I think we got 7th. And then the second night, this was the second time I ever was in the car. Was the first night of Sunshine Nationals.
So
And
this was just a one-day event? That's all it was?
No, it was a 3-day event. It was a 3-day event. The last night got rained out.
Oh, okay. So you had a second race after the win then?
Yes. Well, back then it was a second. A month ago we thought it was a second place, but yeah. We had another race. We finished 3rd the day after. January 20th, we finished 3rd. We drove from 4th or 5th to 3rd.
Nice. So if I would have told you a month ago that you were going to finish 1st and 3rd, what were you said?
Yeah, I would have said you're full of crap.
Yeah.
There was 100. Let me think about this. There was 97 cars at the event.
Wow.
604s. Yep.
That's amazing. I mean,
there was a lot of cars.
When did it finally hit you this week? What you went down and did? Because I'm sure a lot of the people in the pit area, Drellos, 111. Who the heck is this guy? And,
you know what's surprising? A lot of people, it's a very friendly pit area with the late model guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. They're all really nice. Everyone we parked next to is very nice.
Okay.
Would help you do anything. And, it's a totally different feel. And actually, a lot of them knew me. I'll tell you that. It's a lot of funny. They not knew me, but they came out and talked to me, and they talked about running late model stuff.
uh-huh.
It's funny. It's not like they don't know of us in the Northeast. They just don't pay attention to us.
Gotcha. Did they know much about the car you've been driving? Did they know much about modifieds?
Yeah, they do. They do a little bit. They know what it looks like. They don't really know about what the mechanics are. I talked to them about it, and it's a lot of fun. It was actually It was really refreshing doing something differently than what we normally do.
And then having success to boot, makes
it
that
it's nice when you got 97 cars at time trial and you show up the first day and you time trial 4th out of all of them. So, and you've only been in the car one time before. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, so if they didn't know you before, well, they knew you now.
Yeah. Yeah, they knew me after night 1, tell you that.
Does that alter your plans at all and make you think, gee, maybe I should be doing more late model stuff this year? I mean, you'd only be human if you didn't think that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do as much as we can. As much as we can. I think we're going to do a lot of Western PA, Western New York stuff, some Rush stuff. I think the next up for the late models, we're going to go to Battle at the Bay.
Okay.
In Delaware and Potomac. So we're going to do that. That's next. That's going to be in April. We're going to do, after that, I'm really unsure what we're going to do, but I know Erie Speedway in Pennsylvania, they race on Sundays, so I might be able to run out there a couple times in the year for some of their bigger stuff. We're going to bounce around. We're going to do some stuff. I don't think last year we didn't travel much in the big block. We stayed basically as far as Utica was, as far as we went west.
Yep.
And I don't think that's going to change at all. I think we found what we like doing. I think we have a good number of how many races we want to fill out our schedule with. And I think after all the special shows we're basically going to do that, we're going to fill in with is the late model stuff.
Okay.
I think next year we'll probably not bring the modified down unless something else changes.
Oh, just
we probably won't bring the
late
modified
model.
down.
Okay.
Yep, just run the late model. I think after we go to Volusia, if we're still running Crate Sen and we don't run the Super or get a Super or something, who knows? You never know with me. It could change in a minute.
Yeah, but now you got a new love, and you got something you love. By the way, 5 wins last year, 3 at Malta, 1 at Fonda, 1 at Afton, so he's a pretty darn good modified racer, too. And you got a race next week, and obviously you're going to come into there with a little more confidence with the modified, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. Volusia is one of those tracks where it's so different than everywhere else. It's like going to Lebanon Valley. So, it's totally different from every other track you've ever been to.
I heard that.
To just be there and race something at it gets you so much more familiar and so much more confident at that racetrack. People have been going there for years, with no success in any car they've raced. So, and same thing with me. I've been there 3 times with the modified. I've only had a couple, probably 2 top 5s and maybe a couple top 10s. So to get there with the late model and be a lot better was a lot of confidence. Get me used to the track again.
Well, it's going to be fun. Remember, next week, that's when the big blocks go down, Wednesday through Saturday. Demetrios will be there. Look for his familiar 111, and it sounds like we'll be seeing that 111 late model at a lot of other tracks here very soon. Out of time already, man, so please keep in touch. And the way things are going, I guess I'll plan on talking to you sometime next week then, right?
Yeah, sounds good. Probably actually in 2 weeks. I'll plan on next Monday or Tuesday.
There you go. Guys, hit the blue E, hit the subscribe, turn on all the notifications and all that good stuff, and we'll have more good stuff for you from down in Florida.